So if you're a fan of rose-based perfumes, but here's the thing, there's rose, there's magnolia, there's lotus, there's a lot of floral ingredients in here. We have Rosa Moceniga by the Merchant of Venice. I've actually also reviewed Maria Callas, and that one is such an exceptional fragrance, such a beautiful floral expression with a touch of fruit in there as well. Rosa Moceniga is such a beautiful rose fragrance, and it has those other, and by the way, it's magnetic, so the box closes so beautifully. I just love the presentation of Merchant of Venice fragrances. I have a handful of them, but I wish to acquire more in the very near future because they just come across so elegant and so actually quite feminine as well as far as the presentations are concerned, but there's something so beautiful, so elegant, so pretty about them. And Rosa Moceniga is a beautiful fragrance if you're a fan of rose and vanilla perfume. So there's actually vanilla absolute, there's crystal amber in the dry down, there's cassis in the opening, otherwise known as blackcurrant. There's also bergamot, but rose is the star of the show. And from what I'm given to understand, there's actually several different varieties of rose in this fragrance. But nevertheless, before I dive into the full review, and I give you my thoughts on this fragrance, the notes, the smell, the performance, longevity, comparisons, all that good stuff, I do want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up. It would really mean a lot to me, and it really helps with this channel's discovery. So thank you so much for doing that. I know it's absolutely free to support, but it really, really means a lot to me. I want to mention that this fragrance I actually picked up from MAXAROMA. MAXAROMA.com is an amazing website if you want to get some really hard to find designer and niche fragrances, more often than not on a discount. So if you're in the market for saving a lot of money, if you don't want to pay full retail on brand new fragrances, but you want authentic products that are stored properly, that you can get to your doorstep in just a few days. I mean, the delivery is phenomenal. The customer service is exceptional. And I know a lot of the people who work for MAXAROMA, including, Adam and Hamid, and they're all incredible down-to-earth people. I love supporting people that I've met in person who are very genuine, very hospitable, very down-to-earth. And so I'm going to drop all of the information down below. I do not make any commission on you making purchases from MAXAROMA, but I just want to put them on your radar because they are a service that I absolutely love utilizing. So MAXAROMA is incredible. Maria Callas was such a beautiful fragrance that I had the pleasure of reviewing. Was it 2 months ago? I think it might have been 2 months ago. And now we have Rosa Moceniga, and this fragrance is a beautiful rose-based fragrance. So let me tell you what it starts off like, right? As soon as you spray it, you're going to get something that is very sensual, very elegant. The rose in here is not too thick, it's not too syrupy, it's not too jammy. It actually works really well in harmony with the vanilla and the dry down. And I know what people are going to think, and I thought that too. And when I smelled it, I got a tinge of it. I'm going to be totally honest with you, right? Like, I can't lie to you. When you smell this one, unquestionably, it's going to be in the same family as Delina. If you've tried Delina, if you own Delina, you're going to get something that is quite similar with this fragrance. However, it does go in its own direction. The hint of cassis in the opening almost creates like this musky vibe. And there's also musk in the dry down of this fragrance. So it creates this bridge from the opening to the dry down that I think is done so beautifully. And again, none of the other ingredients in here actually take away from the femininity of this fragrance, because you also have the magnolia, you also have the lotus. So you do get some other floral tonalities in this fragrance, all of which are very clean, very elegant, very feminine. There's nothing harsh or abrasive about this fragrance. And I know a lot of like sharp yellow florals can come across quite dark, right? So if you have freesia or ylang-ylang or narcissus or even osmanthus, right? Not a yellow floral per se, but osmanthus can be quite rich and whatnot. But this fragrance is very smooth, very gentle, very elegant, very poised. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Rosa Moceniga is such a wonderful fragrance by the Merchant of Venice, which is an Italian brand. Of course, if you couldn't already tell by Venice in the name, I wonder if it has a made in information on the bottom. Made in Italy. Yeah. So Very cool. This is a beautiful fragrance, again, for the rose lover out there. I think the main point of deliberation for a lot of people is going to be, do I get this or Delina, right? Because I think if you like that Delina DNA, and there's a lot of brands that have put out their version of that, if you will, not to suggest that this is, twist or an inspiration of it, but it's definitely a cousin to Delina. I think if you want something with a more diverse floral personality, you're going to go with the Merchant of Venice fragrance. If you're looking for something that is a bit sweeter, less musky, and more of an emphasis on rose, then you're going to go with Delina. But I think this one, because of the lotus and the magnolia and the other florals that are in here, the two varieties of rose, it's just so thick, it's so sensual, it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. And the bottle itself, I mean, the name, the presentation, just everything about it, I can see why, the Merchant of Venice has a pretty strong fan base. I've looked online in some of the groups, and there are people on occasion talking about this fragrance, and it totally makes sense. Like, it's a beautiful fragrance, and I can see why people are supporting the brand the way that they are. And the brand also has a very strong social media presence. On Instagram especially, I think they've interacted with me on a number of occasions, and I'm like, oh wow, they know I exist. So that's good. But no, they have some incredible fragrances. And again, if you want, you can pick them up at MAXAROMA. MAXAROMA is like the hub for certain brands. There are certain brands where if you asked me, I would say you have to get it from MAXAROMA. House of Dastan, obviously, because that's their brand. But there's also the Merchant of Venice. There is Oman Luxury. There is the Spirit of Dubai. There is, oh my gosh, I think also Precious Liquid. There are certain brands that I'm like, if you're looking for that brand, like MAXAROMA is the place to get it at. But nevertheless, this is a beautiful fragrance. So 7 to 8 hours longevity on my skin. I think you can wear this any time of the year. I know some people inevitably make associations between floral perfumes and springtime or hotter months of the year. If that's your thing as well, then you can go ahead and really enjoy this one in the spring and summer. No qualms there. I think this one can be worn both formally and casually. And it's a huge compliment getter. This has that compliment getting DNA. This is the fragrance that you want to wear during your wedding. This is the fragrance that you want to wear for a special occasion. I mean, it's just very beautiful, feminine, elegant. Again, a lot of rose, a lot of vanilla. And this Merchant of Venice perfume is, I think, quite exquisite. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope that you took something of value from today's episode. And of course, I want to conclude by saying that if you did take anything of value from today's episode, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me, and it helps tremendously with the discovery of this channel. I've been doing this since 2012, so I've been at it for 13 years, publishing almost every single day, actually multiple times a day. And so I just love being able to have this opportunity to talk about perfumes. It is truly a blessing, and it's something that I have never taken for granted, and I will never take for granted. So for everybody who stuck around this long to hear me go on this spiel about how much I love doing this, thank you. Thank you for being one of my followers or subscribers. And, thank you for being my fragrant family here on YouTube and on other platforms. Hopefully you're following me on TikTok and Instagram as well, where I also upload on a daily basis. Listen, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Again, if you took anything of value from this episode, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow with another episode.